Welcome to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur podcast. I am your host, Kayleigh Greenacre, a business strategist, coach, TEDx speaker, author, and your go-to woman for all things business strategy. I am obsessed with supporting female entrepreneurs to grow unstoppable six and multi-six-figure businesses that they love, giving them the freedom and life that they desire. During this podcast, I'll be sharing with you everything that you need to become a successful female entrepreneur, from the mindset shifts to sales and marketing strategies, and how to become an iconic leader that people can't get enough of. It is my mission to help you stand out, attract your dream clients and customers, and sell out of your offers with ease whilst building the business and life of your dreams. Let's make this your reality, ladies. Hello, ladies, and welcome to another episode of Actually I Can, the Female Entrepreneur podcast. And this week, I'm doing a solo episode diving into why doing less can actually make you wealthier if you do it right. So I want to start off this podcast episode by talking about more. We live in a world that revolves around the belief of doing more, creating more content, creating more offers, working more, hustling more, doing more, being more. And especially in the online space, I think it's so easy to believe that if you just add one more thing, you'll finally get there. But what if I told you that doing less, when done with deep intention, is actually your fastest way to creating the wealth, the freedom, and the impact that you really want to achieve? It's not about doing less from a place of avoidance or fear, but it's about doing less from a place of embodied power. So let's dive into this, because I think this is so important when we're looking at how to create this freedom, this wealth, this success in our businesses and in our life. When I first started my business, I honestly thought that success, freedom, wealth, all of the things meant that being in a million places at once is what I needed to do. I thought that if I just pushed harder, if I launched more offers, wrote more posts, and tried to serve everyone, I would finally get the results. And it worked to a point, but I found myself exhausted, scattered all over the place, and constantly feeling like I was chasing instead of being chosen. And actually, when I built my business, which I'm sure many of you know if you've listened to my earlier episodes of the podcast, I built this business whilst I was working full-time as an assistant head teacher and being a single mum as well. So I was absolutely exhausted and trying to do as much as possible. And I remember waking up one morning feeling completely disconnected from my own business. I had, a number of offers running at once, and I didn't even really know what excited me anymore, to be honest with you. And I had built a business that was full, but it wasn't really fulfilling. And I think in that moment, I realized that I had to change something. I couldn't keep on going down this particular route or in this direction. If I kept going like this, I think honestly that my business would look successful from the outside, but it just felt really, really heavy inside. And I wanted a business that felt spacious, that felt luxurious, that was expansive, not one that I needed to quite simply escape from. So I remember making the radical decision right there to strip everything back. I simplified, I focused, and I raised my personal standards higher than I'd ever done before. And that was actually quite early on in my business. It was only the 4th month of business. And that is when I launched my best-selling program today, Unstoppable. And it was the best decision I ever made. I simplified, I stripped back, and I lent all in to one signature offer. It's the best thing I ever did. And I think when you do less, but you do it with this deep conviction, your energy becomes so much more potent to your audience as well. People don't need to see 3 posts from you every single day. They don't need you to launch new offers for them every single month. They don't need, basically, more noise, because they feel things. They will feel your certainty. If you have one signature offer and it's really, really simple, what it does, how it supports them, the transformation it offers, they will feel the certainty in your messaging, in your presence, in your positioning. And they want to feel that when you speak, and it's coming from a place so grounded that they can't help then to lean in. If you look in the online space, the most magnetic leaders, iconic leaders out there, they're not necessarily the loudest or the ones that are posting and showing up and giving a million different options. They're the ones that have the conviction. They're the ones that are the clearest, and they're the ones that are most focused. So what I want you to do is to ask yourself this right now. Where are you overcomplicating as a way to avoid being fully seen? And what would happen if you went all in on one thing and trusted it to be enough? So simplifying, let's kind of dive into this a little bit more, because simplifying doesn't mean settling for one thing. What it means is holding your work to that higher standard. When you decide to do less, every piece of content becomes a transmission. Every offer holds your full energetic frequency because you're focusing on that one thing. And every decision reflects your deepest alignment. And this requires you to stop hiding behind being busy. You know, busy can feel safe. It can feel like proof almost that you're doing enough. But busy is often just a shield that keeps you from sitting with this question of, am I actually moving in integrity with the life I say I want? Now, I remember one of my clients came to me. She came to me with 6 different offers all running at once. She was making money, but she felt depleted, disconnected, and consistently worried about keeping up with everything, to be honest with you. And together, what we did, we stripped everything back. We focused on one core signature offer, the one that actually lit her up a lot, that she was really passionate about. And because of that, because of the work that we did alongside the iconic leadership work, the positioning and the messaging, she managed to triple her monthly income within 2 months of working together. But most importantly, she fell back in love with her business and she started feeling spacious again. She started to feel really present in her life and she loved her business. And this is just an example of when you simplify, you invite that abundance to arrive in a more effortless, aligned way. It's evidence that you can do this. So thinking about your own business whilst you're listening to this podcast, where are you using more, in inverted commas, as a distraction from owning your power? And where can you focus your energy instead of leaking it or spreading it absolutely everywhere? I think when you choose to simplify, you open space for your energy to do that heavy lifting for you. Think about the most iconic brands that you love. They aren't trying to be everywhere and everything to everyone. They're standing boldly in their lane. They own one clear message that really becomes magnetic. And this is what creates that luxury energy. Luxury that isn't about adding more, it's about refinement. It's about choosing the most powerful expression and holding it with certainty. So think about what you could strip away in your business right now. How could you show up differently if you believed one clear, potent message was enough to change everything? I want you to imagine what it would feel like to run a business that feels spacious and abundant, a business where every move is intentional, every offer is premium, every client interaction feels like a full body yes. Imagine that energy you'd reclaim if you stopped leaking it into places that don't serve you. Imagine the wealth that you could hold if you choose to simplify and amplify instead of obviously scattering and diluting. What would that look like to you? What would it feel like to wake up in the morning and know that you don't have to do more to prove your worth? You simply have to be more of who you already are. Now, if you're feeling this in your body right now, that pull to strip back, to focus, to refine, to lead in a way that feels deeply luxurious and widely profitable, then I invite you to trust it. The moment you stop chasing and start choosing, everything changes. Your clients will feel it. Your income reflects it. Your freedom expands beyond what you thought was possible. So I'm going to leave you with these following questions for this podcast episode. First of all, where can you simplify your business? Where can you hold yourself to a higher standard rather than a higher workload? Where can you do less, but in a way that moves you into more, so more wealth, more freedom, more impact? Because the women who are leading themselves in the online space right now are the ones that are becoming iconic leaders. They are the ones that are making the highest profit. They are the ones that are creating that freedom, that wealth, that success, that impact that you desire. Now, if this episode resonated, please do share it on your stories, tag me or send me a DM. I'd love to hear what you're simplifying and what's opening up for you in your business right now. And if you're ready to create a business where you do less but hold more power, more money, more soul-aligned spaciousness, then DM me the word sales today. and we can have a little chat about how I can support you. Because inside the Iconic Era movement, we aren't just teaching you how to sell, we're actually supporting you in becoming an iconic leader that sells on repeat. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, and I will see you all again next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur Podcast with me, your host, Kayleigh Greenacre. If you are ready to build, grow, and scale your dream six-figure or multi-six-figure business, then head to our website now for more information or connect with me on socials to see how you can create your dream business and dream life.